listening to the Outer Banks This Week podcast, a place for people to hear what's going on up and down the beach and get the truth about what really goes on around the Outer Banks. So, here we go.
All right, thank you so much, Lexi. Outer Banks This Week podcast, all brought to you by Outer Banks Pest Control. Yes, if you have those unwanted varmints or vermin or creepy crawlies in your life that you need to get rid of, you need to get a hold of the fine folks at Outer Banks Pest Control. And when I say fine folks, I'm for real saying that. Like, a lot of people be like, the fine folks at blah, 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 blah. No, I know the people that work at Outer Banks Pest Control, and they really are fine folks. We're talking about Miss Amanda, Miss Jessie, the whole crowd over there. Great people. Check them out online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com. And again, we need something to power this vessel, and that Kelly Automotive power. I'm telling you, like, it's funny. I'm sitting here like flexing like I've got some sort of power going on. Like Kelly at Kelly's Automotive. Now that is, you think about the Dierks Bentley song, Mountain of a Man with the Born to Kill tattoo. Tried to cut in, I knocked out his front tooth. Well, I didn't do that. But he is a mountain of a man. I don't know that he has some tattoos, but I don't know if any of them say born to kill. If they say anything, they say born to sell you a good car at a great price. If I had to guess, he's got one that says that. Yes, that's Kelly at Kelly's Automotive in Manio. Check him out online at kellysobxauto.com. He's got cars. He's got sheds. He actually, I ride by there at least twice a day, and I look over every time, and I notice it appears as if he has like greenhouses out there, like mobile greenhouses. Thought that was really interesting. But again, you can see all of this in its entirety online at kellysobxauto.com. All right. New year, new podcast format. Yes, we're changing some things up a little bit. Okay. So we're actually just going to break things up into separate sections. Here's what I mean by that. So typically I will do this little intro part, talk, yada, yada, give some shout outs, go into a guest, and then come out of the guest, go into events. We're going to make the guests part of the podcast its own separate show. Okay. We're going to break it up to where the guests, they get their own show. And then every week the podcast is in regards to what's going on around here on the Outer Banks, events and things of that nature. So it's taking the regular podcast that's been taking place. It's been going on for the last almost 3 years. And we're just going to break it up into two separate sections. Okay. 2 separate sections. And do it that way. So that's how it's going to be going forward. So if you're waiting for an hour-long podcast to take place right now, don't hold your breath for an hour because it's not going to last that long. Okay, again, breaking it up into 2 separate sections. So I'm going to be doing another recording in the near future with some individuals from the Dare County Library and the foundation that they have and the different things that are going on surrounding that. So stay tuned for that. As of right now, really just kind of trying to take a different approach with the podcast this year. We'll see how it goes. With that being said, though, seeing how things go on a daily basis around here has been interesting. And I say that in a weather sense. One day it's hot, the next day it's not. And see, I've always had the old timers around here have always said, they say it, I've heard it a couple times already this winter, a warm winter equals a fat graveyard. I don't know exactly, well, I have an idea of what that means. It means a lot of people are dying. I don't, anyway. It's been warm one day and cold the next. And that's just kind of the way it's been here lately. Now, I am anticipating snow at some point between now and the middle of March. I'm calling it right now. Snow sometime between now and the middle of March on the Outer Banks. We had a little bit more last year than I wanted. Okay. Nothing I can do about that, obviously, but we've already had some pretty frigid temperatures drop down, like these Arctic blasts. We had some early. We actually, maybe not here on the Outer Banks, but in like an hour, if you drive an hour west of here, toward like between Columbia, North Carolina and Plymouth, North Carolina, back in the middle of November, there was snow on the ground. Yes, that's true story. I don't know that I've ever seen, if it's happened in my lifetime, I don't remember. But I don't know that I've never seen snow on the ground anywhere in this area, in this eastern region of North Carolina, on the ground in November. So to me, that was like an indicator, hey, we're in for a long, cold winter. Again, we've had a couple warm days. Last weekend was nice. I was able to get a lot of stuff done outside. It was very nice. But now we're in that swing of up down, up, down. Like that song goes up, down, up, down. You know what song I'm talking about. But that's kind of the way things are swinging around here right now. I do want to thank Joel for being on the podcast with me last week, talking about noteworthy events that are coming up in 2026 that you're going to mark your calendar for. I was looking and so I got an email. Let me go back to this. Miss Angie has emailed me and she's requesting some more information. So I haven't gone back and re-listened to the podcast from last week yet. I typically will do that at some point, but I just haven't had an opportunity to. I've been really busy. And she said, hi, Happy New Year. She's going to be here for the 4th of July. Appreciated the info about the Ocracoke Sandcastle contest. She said, the feedback on the podcast made it a little hard to understand all the details around it. Would I be able to get those fourth details that are happening on July 2nd in Ocracoke and July 4th Hatteras Village activities? I'm going to get with Mr. Joel, get his information because he had that all like typed up. He had like 3 different sheets of paper in front of him when we were doing the podcast. Had it all laid out. So I'm going to see if I can get that information back from him and be able to try maybe re-explain that coming up in the near future. However, Miss Angie does say she's very excited and she wants to know what's the deal with The Wreck. She's never been there. So The Wreck is the Wreck Tiki Bar down in Hatteras Village at Hatteras Landing. I mean, you can park in the parking lot right next to the ferry dock, walk into The Wreck and go have yourself a beverage while you wait for the ferry. Now, if you miss your ferry, that's on you. But it's a fun place, great people, great atmosphere. I mean, it's my vacation spot when I'm not on vacation. Because again, I go to Hatteras on a regular basis, and I enjoy going to The Wreck every time I go down there when I have an opportunity to get there. Let me say it that way, because there's times I go to Hatteras that I don't get a chance to go to The Wreck. But when I get an opportunity to go down there and hang out, it's a vacation. It's like I'm on vacation, but I'm not on vacation, if that makes any sense. So if you're here on vacation and you go to The Wreck, you really feel like you're on vacation. Just saying. You got to check out The Wreck, Miss Angie. And to follow up with your other email, because you piggybacked it with another one talking about geocaching. Used to be really into it. I will do it again when I have more alone time, family people. But if I ever thought about doing a show on geocaching, well, I remember geocaching being really popular about 10 years ago. I got a cousin who likes to do it. Apparently there's a geocache somewhere close to my house that she was like, I got to go find this geocache. Anyway, hadn't really thought about it, but I'll definitely keep it in consideration. I'll put that in the suggestion box. That's what we're going to do. Put it in the suggestion box over here. So thank you, Miss Angie, for emailing. And again, if you have any questions, there's something you want to know more about, topics, things of interest, 2026, Outer Banks, you can call me, 252-216-2797, and leave me a message, or you can email me like Miss Angie did, justin@outerbanksthisweek.com. So again, if you haven't heard Captain Marty's fishing reports, please take a listen. You can go online, outerbanksthisweek.com, click on the Captain Marty tab. You can hear his fishing reports, his stories, his Other Side of Fishing show that we do. It's Captain Marty season for me. And that's the thing. My busy season with my job is now. I am on the go right now. I mean, I had to stop and remind myself earlier that I had a podcast to record. That's how busy I've been, and it's not stopping for me until probably December 31st. No, I say that jokingly, but I just honestly, like a lot of the stuff that I do, a lot of the business that I conduct, a lot of the interviews and things that I do with individuals happen right now, between now and the middle of the summer. So it's off to the races for me. But yes, I do not want to forsake the podcast at all. All right, quick break. And when we come back, we're going to jump into some events. So stick around. I'll be right back. Let's be real. No one wants to deal with nasty varmints like mice, roaches, creepy crawlies, and critters. Leave that work to the experts at Outer Banks Pest Control. Outer Banks Pest Control is the best on the beach when it comes to eradicating those unwanted creatures. They've been in business for over 25 years with well over 100 years of combined exterminating experience. Specializing in both commercial and residential properties, Outer Banks Pest Control has all the tools and equipment necessary to take on any pesky job. They pride themselves on top quality customer service and workmanship. Hey, if it ain't red and yellow, it's just some coattail riding fella. Outer Banks Pest Control, the best on the beach with a proven track record of excellence excellence since the year 2000 and online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com. Step back to 1929 at Passions and Prohibition, the Pioneer Theater's hottest Valentine's speakeasy on February 13th and 14th. Under a swanky heated tent in the garden, sip champagne, dine on sumptuous fare, and sway to live jazz all night. Try your luck at craps, roulette, Texas Hold'em, or blackjack. Make it a weekend. Special room packages are available at the Pearl and the Manio House. Dress sharp, whisper the secret password, and make this Valentine's an unforgettable night of romance, rhythm, and roaring fun at Passions and Prohibition. All right, let's take a look at some events. There's some things going on. Where's my events tab? There it is. All these events can be found online at outerbanksthisweek.com. Let's take a look here. What we got coming up this weekend? This weekend being January 16th. Oh, the Outer Banks Wedding Association is doing their wedding expo this entire weekend. Okay, there's something to think about if you're thinking about getting married on the Outer Banks. You can get together with other couples and top wedding professionals for an unforgettable celebration. From the lively welcome party to the inspiring expo and self-guided wedding tour, this weekend is your chance to explore venues, meet vendors, and gather ideas for your dream Outer Banks wedding. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind event. So the welcome party is this Friday, January 16th at the Pavilion at Pirates Cove from 6 to 8. The expo, Saturday, January 17th at 108 Budley, the Waterfront Trellis, the Pioneer Theater, and Manio House located in downtown Manio from 10 to 3. And then the wedding tour, Sunday, January 18th at various locations throughout the Outer Banks from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can go online to obxwa.com for more details on the Outer Banks Wedding weekend and expo. So that's something that you can do this coming weekend. Other than that, I'm looking at different live music opportunities from Jolly Rogers with some guy named Joel on Friday evening starting at 5. Then you've got live music with the Dockside Duo from 6 until 9 at Buffalo City Distillery in Point Harbor, North Carolina. It's just across the bridge in Currituck. Again, Trick Fly is going to be jamming out starting at 8 o'clock on Jolly Rogers on Friday night. Trick Fly, pretty good band. You're going to want to check them out. And then after that, you got karaoke with DJ Cowboy Joe. Jolly Rogers is popping off, y'all. If you haven't had an opportunity to go to the Jollies and hang out, you need to do so right there. Milepost 6 3/4 on the Beach Road in Kill Devil Hills. So again, lots of things going on at Trio in Kitty Hawk. There's things going on at Black Pelican in Kitty Hawk. Ocracoke Rockers at Ocracoke Oyster Company, Saturday, January 17th, starting at 7:30. The Ocracoke Rockers. Okay. Stop by the Ocracoke Oyster Company for great dinner specials and live music by the Ocracoke Rockers. And again, you can see all the information about what's going on down at the Ocracoke Oyster Company online at ocracokeoystercompany.com. That's happening this coming Saturday, starting at 7:30 in the evening. Continuing on again, this weekend, Sunday, you still got the Outer Banks Wedding weekend. As well as the pool tournament. Oh, yeah, I need to enter that. I'll probably get killed, but it'd still be fun. The pool tournament that goes on at the Jolly Roger in Kill Devil Hills. And it's not like a swimming pool tournament. It's like playing pool tournament. Just to kind of clarify that for some of you that may be thinking I'm going to go jump in a pool. No, not in January. Heck no. However, there is a polar plunge coming up in February. More on that later. Trivia night with at Jack Brown's. Let's see, who's that with? I think it's with Amy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's with Amy. You've got that going on at Jack Brown's on Monday, January 19th, starting at 6. It's open mic night on Monday, January 19th at McGrath's Burger Shack starting at 6 as well. So a couple different things you can do on Monday evening. Of course, don't forget that you got Wednesday's McGrath's Burger Shack with me. Trivia with me at McGrath's Burger Shack on Wednesdays. You don't need to forget about that. Forget about it. No, don't forget about it. Do it with me. Guaranteed to have a good time. 6 o'clock Wednesdays at McGrath's Burger Shack. Again, a lot of the different events that are going on at up and down the beach, from McGrath's to Buffalo City Distillery to Jolly Rogers to Jack Brown's, Black Pelican. Let's keep on going. See if anything big. Let's see. I'm getting into the following weekend, Friday, January 23rd. You've got Bring Your Own Vinyl Night at Stormy Seas Bottle Shop in Kill Devil Hills. R.T. Johnson is going to be playing on Friday, January 23rd, starting at 8 o'clock at the Jolly Roger. That'll be a good time. RT always brings a good crowd. And hey, if that high energy rocker, roller, country isn't your style, you can go check out Jeremy Russell. Jeremy, I'm not saying he doesn't know how to rock and roll all night and party every day. But Jeremy, he's got a different vibe about him, man, and it's a great vibe. I love me some Jeremy Russell. You know, he was on the podcast with me about a year ago. He'll be at Buffalo City Distillery in Point Harbor on Friday, January 23rd, starting at 6 and going until about 9. Let's see here. Lots of stuff going on. There's a mocktail cocktail class going on at Buffalo City Distillery on January 24th. Let's take a look at that. New Year mocktail and cocktail class. Each person will be able to eat all you can on our charcuterie grazing board. During this event, you will hear some history of Buffalo City Distillery from our tour guide, learn about spirits, distilling process, and lastly, you get to make and enjoy 2 fun cocktails. It's $10 a person to reserve your seats, and the rest is due the night of the event. So it's $35 per class. Excuse me, the mocktail class is $35. Cocktail class, $55. So keep that in mind. And of course, you can go online. Let's see here. Registration is at buffalocitydistillery.com. And that's coming up. What is that? What is that date again? Saturday, January 24th at 6 o'clock. That'd be a good time. So with all these events that are taking place, you're really not going to be scrambling to find something to do. I want to shout out, there was a family from Baltimore, Maryland that came and played trivia with me last Wednesday. And I asked them, I said, it was a big group too. There was about 8 of them. And I said, where did you guys how did y'all find out about trivia? And I asked new faces that I'm not familiar with where they found out about trivia. And they said OuterBanksThisWeek.com. They saw it online. So our website at OuterBanksThisWeek.com is known far and wide for finding things to do. So guaranteed that you're going to find something that you can go and participate in and enjoy yourself. So keep that in mind. The Outer Banks This Week website, we got the events tab. I encourage you to go and check that out. All right, that's going to do it again. New format for the podcast. Nothing too out of the crazy, nothing too insane. All we're doing is just breaking it up. So instead of 1 podcast a week, you could potentially have 2 a week. Some weeks you may only have 1 a week. But we're going to see how this all works. Just a kind of different flow of things, all right? Okay. Outer Banks This Week podcast, all brought to you by Outer Banks Pest Control and online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com, and all powered by Kelly's Automotive in Manio and online at kellysobxauto.com. All right, I'm out of here. Got that big interview coming up with the Library Foundation here in Dare County. Going to talk to them. So be ready for that. That'll come out sometime very soon. Between now and then, have a great day, and I will see y'all again real soon. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Y'all take care now. Bye-bye.
This has been another epic edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Follow us on social media and be sure to listen every Thursday for a new episode.